If your FPS in EA Sports FC26 keeps dropping, your gameplay feels delayed, and your CPU usage randomly spikes to 100% during matches, this video might completely fix your game. Because here's the crazy part, most FC26 players are optimizing the wrong settings. They lower graphics, they tweak resolution, they buy new GPUs, but the real issue for a lot of players is actually CPU scheduling, frame pacing, and Windows power management. And after testing dozens of settings, I found a few CPU tweaks that gave me smoother gameplay, lower input delay, way better frame consistency, and massive FPS gains in online matches. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact CPU settings that boosted performance in FC26 step by step. Let's fix your game. Why FC26 runs bad on some PCs? Here's what makes FC26 weird on PC. The game can actually run at high FPS while still feeling terrible. You'll see random stutters, delayed passes, laggy dribbling, half-time FPS drops, and unstable frame times. A lot of players online notice the same thing. The game becomes CPU heavy during crowd rendering, cutscenes, online syncing, and camera transitions. And what's interesting is that many people reported offline modes feel smooth, and rivals and champs suddenly feel delayed or inconsistent. That usually points to one thing: CPU timing instability. So instead of only lowering graphics, we're going to optimize how Windows and your processor handles FC26. Change Windows power mode. First settings, and honestly the easiest one, switch Windows from balanced to high performance. Here's how. Open Start, search Power Plan, click Choose a Power Plan, select High Performance. If you don't see it, click Create a Power Plan, then choose High Performance. Why does this matter? Because balance mode constantly lowers CPU clocks to save power. That's fine for browsing, but terrible for FC26. The game hates frequency fluctuations, especially online. Players on Reddit found that disabling CPU downclocking dramatically reduced input delay and frame time spikes. So this single settings alone can make gameplay feel way more responsive. Disable CPU parking. Now this tweak is huge. Disable CPU parking. What is CPU parking? Basically, Windows puts some CPU cores to sleep when it thinks they're not needed. Sounds smart, but in FC26 that causes sudden spikes when the game needs those cores again. That's where micro stutters comes from. Here's the easiest method. Download Park Control, then open it. Select your power profile, set CPU parking to off, apply, that's it. Players especially reported smoother Rivals gameplay after disabling parking and stabilizing CPU clocks. And if you have Ryzen CPUs, Intel hybrid CPUs, laptops, or mid-range systems, you'll probably notice the biggest improvement here. Turn off core isolation. Now let's talk about the biggest hidden FPS killers in Windows 11. Turn off core isolation. Now let's talk about one of the biggest hidden FPS killers in Windows 11, core isolation. This is a security feature, but for gaming performance, it can absolutely destroy frame times. To disable it, open Windows Security, Device Security, Core Isolation, turn off memory integrity, restart your PC afterwards. Now, before anyone panics, this setting exists for security virtualization, not gaming, and many competitive players disable it because it adds CPU overhead. A lot of FC26 optimization guides also recommend turning this off for better performance and lower latency. On some systems, this alone gives lower CPU usage, better 1% lows, and smoother gameplay. Set FC26 to high priority. Next tweak gives FC26 higher CPU priority. Here's how. Launch the game, open Task Manager, go to Details, find FC26.exe, right click, set priority, choose high. Do not choose real time, that can actually cause instability. High priority tells Windows, hey, this game matters more than background apps. So your CPU focuses on gameplay first. This is especially useful if Discord, Chrome, OBS, or RGB software are running in the background. Disable background apps. Speaking of background apps, FC26 hates background CPU usage, especially overlays, so before launching the game, disable Xbox Game Bar, unnecessary startup apps, RGB software, browser tabs, motherboard utilities, and recording apps you're not using. Also disable Discord overlay, Steam overlay, EA app overlay. This can cause random frame time spikes. A lot of people blame the GPU, when actually the CPU is getting interrupted by background tasks every few milliseconds. This destroyed smoothness. The FPS limit trick. Now this setting changed everything for me. Cap your FPS using your GPU driver, not the in-game limiter. Multiple FC26 players found the in-game FPS cap and VSync system unstable, especially after halftime or cutscenes. So here's what you do. For NVIDIA, open NVIDIA control panel, manage 3D settings, program settings, add FC26EXE, set max frame rate, then cap FPS like 3 under, like 141 for 144 Hz monitor, cap it at 162 for 165 Hz monitor, and cap it to 237 for 240 Hz monitor. And inside FC26, disable VSync. This massively improves frame time consistency. And honestly, stable FPS feels way better than higher FPS. Best CPU heavy graphics settings. Now let's reduce the settings that hammer your CPU. According to EA's own PC deep dive, some graphics settings are heavily CPU dependent. The biggest CPU heavy settings are rendering quality, cloud quality, ambient occlusion, crowd quality. So here's the competitive setup I recommend. Display mode full screen, VSync off, dynamic resolution off, render scale 100%, rendering quality medium, crowd quality low, grass quality medium, strand hair off, cloth quality low, ambient occlusion low. This gives the best balance between visual quality, responsiveness, and CPU load. And yes, full screen mode still gives noticeable lower input lag than borderless for most systems. Laptop users, important fix. If you're on a gaming laptop, listen carefully. A lot of laptops aggressively throttle CPU power. So keep your charger plugged in, set laptop mode to performance, disable battery saver, and check your manufacturer's software. This can literally boost FPS by 20 to 30% on some laptops. And if temperatures are too high, your CPU will downclock automatically, which causes stutter even if GPU is fine. Final results after applying all these tweaks. Here's what changed for me. Higher average FPS, massive improved 1% lows, smoother dribbling, less input delay, and almost zero stutter during online matches. And honestly, FC26 feels like a completely different game when frame times are stable. So if your gameplay still feels heavy or delayed, don't just blame your internet. Your CPU settings might be the real problem. If this video helped, drop your specs in the comments, CPU, GPU, RAM, and monitor refresh rate. I'll try to help optimize your setup. If you want a full FC26 optimization guide next, including NVIDIA settings, Windows tweaks, and hidden config edits, subscribe right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright guys, have a great day.